Turn on. Okay, cancel. We'll have to do it again. Add. Oh no. Yeah. Audio input.
Camera's there.
Oh, add existing. Yeah. Camera. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, right click. You know what? You just hit the where I can hear it. Click that and click that. Click the eyeballs on them. Nope, no, that locks. Click the eyeballs on both.
Camera's there.
Oh, add existing. Yeah. Camera. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, right click. You know what? You just hit the where I can hear it. Click that and click that. Click the eyeballs on them. Nope, no, that locks. Click the eyeballs on both.
Camera's there.
Oh, add existing. Yeah. Camera. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, right click. You know what? You just hit the where I can hear it. Click that and click that. Click the eyeballs on them. Nope, no, that locks. Click the eyeballs on both. Oh, add existing. Yeah. Camera. Okay. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, right click. You know what? You just hit the where I can hear it. Click that and click that. Click the eyeballs on them. Nope, no, that locks. Click the eyeballs on both. Did that work? Oh, it worked. Okay.
What worked?
That's the audio. I guess it is working. It is the camera audio. My bad. I'm sorry.
So now they can hear us and see us?
Now they can see, well, they can see everything that's on the screen right now.
Yep.
So what you want to do is lower that.
It's not showing
No,
everything.
on this screen.
Yeah.
That's the audio. There we go. It is the camera audio. My bad. I'm sorry.
So now they can hear us and see us?
Now they can see, well, they can see everything that's on the screen right now.
Yep.
And there's an audio lag.
That's why you're going to...
No, but it's live. The audio lag
you're
is
going to
live.
lower that sound so that we don't hear ourselves. There we go. And now we can have a conversation.
Yes, we can, but I'm just letting you know that the audio will be off sync from the rest. Now, I am too close to the camera where I'm sitting.
Yes. Probably going to have to put the table up front so we can sit.
Let's move some of this. It's supposed to be here. I don't know why I didn't put it
I will move back here a bit.
All right, this is too low. I centered it because it's off center there. Raise it. Okay.
Sound good?
I need, well, right now it's facing you directly. I raised it. Let's watch it get raised up.
Yes, I want you to put it there where your knee is.
Okay, it is
Face it
as
this way.
far as it can go with the wire that's on.
Then use the other wire.
The other wire is shorter.
No, my long...
Then I need you to unplug it. No, I thought you were charging your phone. Alright, so that means the webcam's about to shut off.
Momentarily.
Yeah, but you're gonna... What is this around? I'm pulling on something.
You're sitting on it.
Okay, so we're gonna lose everything for a second.
We'll be right back.
Hold on, let me... Yeah, okay. What is this around? You get to go through our technically on something.
You're sitting on it.
we're gonna lose everything for a second.
We'll be right back.
Hold on, let me. Yeah. Okay. What is this around? You get to go through our technically on something.
You're sitting on
Okay, so we're gonna lose everything for a second.
it. We'll be right back.
Hold on, let me. Yeah. Okay. What is this around? You get to go through our technically on something. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Why are these all the way up here? Okay. It did not come back.
Okay.
So, let's find out why. Let's pause it, bring it back. Did not come back. Can you hear us in this? There's no sound, it looks like. Oh no, it's very sensitive. I'm sorry, let's lower that. There we go. Okay. So you can hear us. Can you make sure that they can hear us? I can make sure they can hear us.
On your phone, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it's very sensitive. Oh yep. Okay. Sorry. So you can still hear us, but our video is being a silly Billy.
Can I get our YouTube link, please?
I can make sure they can hear us. Hold on. So you can still hear us, but our video is... Why don't you work?
What are you doing?
It's not working.
Just do it the way we did it before.
No, it's not there. Okay.
What do you mean?
It's still showing this frozen screen.
So however you got us there.
Do it again.
Yeah. What do we have to start all over? No. Because that's still up.
Yeah, this
Oh,
it's
yeah.
showing this. This is the screen that they're seeing.
Yeah, so just load up the camera again. Because apparently it's...
It is moving. Let's try. It's showing that this is the screen that they're seeing. It's still just the frozen.
And you didn't click add existing.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. I just watched you.
Okay. Add existing.
Yeah.
Webcam.
Yeah. Oh, because it's not a check mark. It's just a blue circle. That's why I didn't catch it.
Let's try.
Yeah, try create.
Let's try to create new webcam 2. Okay. And it's working. Of course
Yep.
it is. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And it's still way too big for the area. Hold on. My face is. You don't need that much detail on my beard.
There you go.
Oh, too big. There we go. Ha ha ha. Okay. Okay. The screen is a little bit on camera. I don't think that's a bad thing. It's very authentic, I think. You are a little bit out of camera.
Oh,
And I will sit here.
this is how you want to do this?
I thought this is how you wanted to do this.
No, I wanted us both on the bed facing the
Yeah,
camera.
no, I'm gonna sit here, is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
I just wanted you in camera before, like what you said. Hold on. Blocked, I think is the technical term.
Seriously?
I wanted you blocked before
Okay.
I got in.
Can I please have our YouTube page?
It's Granny the Geek.
Yeah, but what's the address? Like, if I put Granny and the Geek, I don't think it's gonna show up as a link on Blue Sky where I'm trying to let people know we're live.
All right, let me see. I'm trying. Hold on. Subscribe. I subscribe, so you have another subscriber. All right. Share. Copy link. Link copied. What is you? Link. YouTube.com/@GrannyAndTheGeek. I think will work. Let me just. No. What the? Don't do that. Yeah, that'll work. You have to have the @ but youtube.com/@GrannyAndTheGeek. YouTube.com
/@ or @
no slash @ symbol
/ symbol
Granny and the Geek. No capitalizations. You don't need to capitalize.
That be you.
I'm the geek.
That's it, just Granny and the Geek?
Yeah.
I don't like that did not go with it.
What did not go with it?
The /.
It should have.
And then I just hit enter. Nothing happened.
What are you talking about? Yeah. No, youtube.com/
That's what I asked you.
You have to have the website, otherwise nothing happens. I'm taking my shoe off. I didn't even put fucking socks on.
YouTube /
youtube.com.
Thank you.
I already said this.
Then the /
/@
Granny and the Geek.
Granny and the
Okay,
Geek.
now I got it. I'm having a senior moment.
You're not a senior.
Yes, I am. Well, no, I'm not yet.
.com.
Thank you. I got 6 more years
I
before
already
that.
said this. /@
It's generating a little artwork. That's our faces.
Yes. Makes sense. Okay. Trying.
Yep.
This is the fun part about living in a truck.
Facts. Absolute facts.
I have nothing to sit back against. Can I steal a pillow?
Yeah.
Oh, what did I do? Did I spill it?
No. It's closed, but you moved it. Good trip.
What am I? Oh.
For
A
fat
fat
nugget.
Look at how fat I am.
Not you.
I am. Look at me.
Silly. Okay.
Why are you looking at that?
I don't know.
That's
That's
them.
what I'm used to looking at. There. I invited people to join us. You need to get over to YouTube so that if anyone does pop up, you can see in the chat what they have to say.
That's the chat.
Go to YouTube.
That's literally, it says YouTube. Welcome to live chat. This is the chat.
Yeah, but it's got that thing in the way.
OBS.
That. It won't go away. You have to learn more, and when you do, it brings you other places. But if you go to YouTube right now,
Well, my phone's up there.
no, on this, minimize this. We'll be right with you, folks.
No, we are with them. This is all happening live.
There we go. Look at that. And now you
Now
got
the
chat.
learn more is there. It's still there.
But I can access the chat. I couldn't have in the other one. Anyway, all right.
Anyway.
So, wow, that took a lot to get going. Next week
First
we're
time.
hoping to have our countdown clock looking, well, first of all, shorter and looking a little. Stop getting distracted.
Ow.
To look a little nicer and a little more, in keeping with our stream. Hey, stop looking at that. They're over here.
You're paying attention to them. I'm watching to see how far behind we are. That's where you poke me. Watch. See?
Okay, if I watch that, I'm just going to get self-conscious and confused. So focus over here.
I tell you what I can do.
What can you do? Tell me what you can do.
I can do that.
Okay, close that. Okay, so
there's
now we
chat.
have chat, but we're not distracted by
There you go.
ourselves. That's awesome.
I'm distracted by her.
baby's looking a little glistening.
Makeup. Makeup.
That's when I hit you with a powdered.
There's no sweat on this
applicator.
side. You don't know how to do that.
Well, it's not something I do regularly, so no, I don't. Anyways, so this first premiere episode, which is started off so well and smoothly.
You know what I can do? Oh, I can turn this a little bit.
Don't turn it too much because we can't see now what we're
Trust me.
seeing or not seeing.
Do you want me? I can show you.
No, but you can
Trust
check
me.
it. Check it.
Well, it's a little behind. Like my butt.
Okay.
So here we go. Look, there's the dead pixel.
Yeah, I hit the dead pixel. Oh, look at that.
See?
Perfect. All right, so
See you in the picture.
you can get rid of that now.
Look at my butt.
All right, so
There's the dead pixel.
neither Matt or I know anything about. I mean, we're not political people per se. We're not people who are in the know. We're not politicians. We're not pundits.
Yeah.
And so I always found, I guess, the best way for me to kind of start this off. Please stop playing with the television.
Just putting my hands somewhere.
I found that when I became of an age where I wanted to take some interest in these things that affected my life or potentially affected my life in any kind of meaningful way, it seemed like coming into the middle of a conversation that's already going on between two people who've known each other for a long time and you're new to the group.
Yeah.
I felt like I was missing all this context without being like you enjoy history. So he knew a lot more about things that I probably should have paid more attention to in school and just didn't.
Like the Teapot Dome scandal.
Sure.
See?
I knew the biggies. I knew the Boston Tea Party. I knew,
The local biggies.
Yeah. I meant, to America and to our politics.
What I said to Massachusetts.
No, not specifically. I mean, I knew about the Civil War. I knew about the War of 1812. I knew about the Revolution. Those kinds of things. I knew the basic tenets of the Constitution, or at least what they really drilled into us, which was freedom of speech, freedom of the press, right to bear arms, that the slaves were freed, that everyone was equal under the law, everyone had, a right to representation, everyone had a right to an attorney, and to have their day in court and to face their accusers. These are the biggies that...
And we don't have to let the soldiers live with us.
Right. These are the biggies that I knew. Anything beyond that, I never really dug into that. It did not interest me. I liked writing, I liked music, I liked theater. I wasn't a science or a math person. It's not that I didn't respect those things, they just didn't grab my attention, and so they were harder for me to remember or to pay attention to. And as I got older, these things got talked about less and less, and I think what we're learning now is that we kind of took those things for granted, that they would always be here.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's a pro or a con, if I'm being 100% honest. I don't know if we should kind of take confidence in the fact that we are the great experiment, we are this first shot, and I don't even know if that's historically accurate, of a democratic society. So when I got to, like I said, an age where politics were like, okay, maybe I should pay attention to some of this, I want to know who to vote for, it just felt like I was playing catch up. Like, how can I possibly have an opinion about foreign policy when I have no idea what the social implications are, what the economic implications are? I don't know any of this stuff. Or like things that I assumed were laws, like Roe v. Wade, that actually were not laws yet. Every woman I ever talked to, and my mother, I grew up in the 70s and 80s. Um, we knew a lot of women's livers, as they were called. Some people who went to a more feminazi approach, some people more moderate, and some people in the middle. There were a lot of people who were very angry about women choosing to be in the home, but nothing too much more than that. You know what I mean? None of them, at any point, they were like, we have the right to our bodies. Nobody ever said, but that's not law. They made it feel like, almost like the civil rights, like it's a past thing that had happened and was now enshrined in law. And so I didn't think I needed to worry about it. And I personally still don't, because I am now past the age of child rearing. So, like, the likelihood of me finding myself in a situation where I have to face the prospect of abortion or not abortion isn't an issue for me. It's an issue for young women that I know. I have nieces, I have cousins, I have, there's always a possibility that I may have a great-granddaughter one day. Lots of nieces and great-nieces. So these things weren't guarantees. And so, like, when people started talking about this more recently, the Palestine-Israel conflict and everything that's been going on over there, it's like, I almost felt like I had to go and do an essay paper to figure out what my opinion was. Because all I have is what American news gives us. And I now know that there is definitely a slant that is pro-Israel. Now, whether you still agree with Israel knowing that or not, knowing that is important in order to have an intelligent conversation about these issues. And so when this whole big, beautiful bill came up and everyone was talking about it, and everyone was talking about how important it was, and what would happen next, what it would mean, I was a little lost. And both of us knew that we were going to be talking about this, and so we each tried to do a little research. I think he made much more progress than I got. I kind of got people's reactions, both on the left and the right. I'm actually surprised and a bit confused that it seems like a lot of even the Republicans are not on board, or not on board with bits and pieces of it. There was a lot of talk about, who knew what, who had read it, who hadn't read it, what their understanding of it was, all of this kind of thing. And I'm thinking to myself, well, fuck, if the people signing the bills don't even know what the hell's going on, how is the average person, the average mom who has to go grocery shopping, the average person who has to deal with, anything, how are they supposed to figure out what it means to them, how it's going to affect them, if the politicians doing it don't know what the hell's going on? So that's where we are. We have come here tonight to try to just scratch the surface a little bit of what it's like as just Joe Schmo American person. I would call us, upper lower class?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah, if that.
I mean, technically, if you want to be technical, we're homeless.
Technically, yeah. I mean, not really.
We live in the truck.
Yeah.
We use someone else's address for our mailing address. Like, this is...
Yeah.
We're homeless.
Yeah, but because your job puts us on the road.
And gives us a place to live.
Right. And that is wonderful right now. Eating out is expensive. Trying to make food stretch and last, and the things that you need to make living work can sometimes be a little daunting, but yeah. But in the long run, like compared to our sons, all three of them, two of them live together and one does not. we're saving money compared to them.
We are.
For sure.
Yeah. We have like 2 bills.
Yeah, and
one of those bills is also one of their bills that we pay for, which is the phones.
Yeah, so that's crazy. That's crazy. You hear about elderly people, particularly, retiring and spending their retirement money on cruises around the world for like 5 years, because either they are presuming that they won't be around in 5 years, or they're presuming that things will get more manageable in 5 years.
Or it's cheaper than a home.
That's what I mean. It's cheaper for them right now, and they do the 5-year thing, just to, I don't know if they can like re-up for another 5 years, almost like a military hitch. I don't know, but yeah, that's easier for our parents and our grandparents than retiring or trying to, And we're not talking about people who need a nurse. These are, I mean, some of them. But a lot of them are just older people who can't afford housing. It's cheaper to go on a luxury cruise
than to live in an assisted living home.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend of mine who is a vet, a former Marine, and he was homeless recently for a while, and he's not a MAGA head, but he's certainly not what I would call, what most people would call left-leaning or liberal by that stretch of the imagination, although I wouldn't try to put him in a box. But yeah, I mean, he's been struggling too. It took him a while to get some relief, and he's gotten it, but he's still got a tough road ahead, particularly if things with this bill go through. And that's kind of what I want.
When they go through, it was passed.
Well, yeah, because it has been passed, and there's no, if I'm understanding correctly, there's no stopping it at this point. Was this the last step? It's now, once Trump signed it, it was law.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've heard people saying, and you can clarify. I've heard people say that some of these effects will take place over the next
5 years.
1 to 5 years.
Yeah.
So some people won't see this right away, and so I guess my question is, so what happens if, hopefully, he acquiesces at the end of his term, and there's another election?
So there is a way to you have to have a whole new bill.
Okay.
A whole new budget.
Okay.
And then you would have to pass it in the House and the Senate, and then have the new president sign it. And that's the difficult part, because there are still going to be Republicans in the House and Senate who are not going to want that to happen.
And see, that's the part that I'm not sure about, because I guess it depends on what you believe. Because, I'm operating accepting the fact that a lot of people are talking about the fact that there are many Republicans who don't agree, but who are, you can say, weak, cowardly, you can say unable, you can say coerced, whatever your take on it is, for their own political survival. They know that, or they believe that if they oppose him, if they do not bend the knee and do what they're told, that's the end of their careers, and then they won't be in a position to do anything. And we've seen some try to say, no, I'm not going to sign off, I'm not going to say, he's wrong about this, or I'm not going to make an amendment, or whatever, and it hasn't gone well. We have seen some long-time Republican politicians, like career politicians, go under because of it. So we know he's willing to do that. Before their falling out, Musk was talking about, and Trump was talking about, and Musk was still talking about, primarying people. And that's a real threat. And that was something that had to be explained to me. And again, this is one of these situations where as someone who grew up on Schoolhouse Rock, I'm going, how is this legal? What do you mean? They out loud. Because I want to understand. And I want other people who are as ignorant of these things as me to understand. Someone disagrees, and someone else comes out and says, if you continue to disagree, I am going to make sure that I dump so much money into your district that nobody votes for you, and the next time your seat comes up, you're done.
Yes.
If I don't even know what the equivalent of that in sports would be, because I'm not a sports person, but like if somebody did something like that in a sport,
they would win a lot of World Series. It's called the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees in the late 90s, when what's his name took over, the late 90s, the mid to late 90s, he bought all the best players. He just dumped a whole bunch of money into the team, and he started paying a cap for every player. He would get all the best players from all the leagues, and that's why the Yankees for a long time in like the mid 90s to like the mid 2000s, like Derek Jeter, all those people, like, and they won a lot of World Series. Not all of them, but like they won a lot of World Series
because they had
money. Because what's his name? I can't remember his name. He's a bad person, but
no, because they had the talent.
Yeah, but they had the talent because they could pay for it.
Okay, so the other teams didn't have as much of a budget. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
They still won some. Like Red Sox took it in what, 02, 03?
Okay, so I guess. And what were people's take on that? Like, what did people think of that?
Oh, they weren't happy. Fans, they didn't like it.
Okay, so
he bought the world like he would buy the World Series.
But this is my point. This is considered unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
So if they know that and the fans don't like it, especially in sports, which is an entertainment industry, why do they allow it? You can't tell me that they can't make a ruling that says you can't do that. So why do they allow it?
I think they did change some things, that you had not just a budget cap on each player, but a budget cap total. So you couldn't do that. I think they did change the rules.
Okay, so they did change it.
Yeah.
So this is my point. This is not the first time that people have been threatened in this way, although I think it's probably the most bootstrap and the most blatant and overt display of it, at least since McCarthyism. And so I don't understand why it's still allowed.
Citizens United.
That's not an answer. That's a statement.
It was a ruling by the Supreme Court that said that money is free speech, and that when it comes to political contributions, companies are people, and so they can give money to super PACs, and the super PACs can fund.
And I'm assuming that most of the Supreme Court that signed off on that are the ones currently sitting there.
No.
Then I don't understand what the issue is.
Why they don't change it?
Yeah.
Because the people who are there want it to continue.
And see, this is what I mean. Every political discussion winds up going in a big fucking circle because they just keep hitting you with more and more information that you, as a common citizen, don't have.
Yeah. That's what
And there should be, or it seems to me has to be, a way to stop it. But seeing it's how we're not there yet, back to the bill.
Yes.
The big, beautiful bullshit pile.
Yeah.
So, as I understand what I got from people's reactions, because again, I could not seem to locate a definitive answer. But as far as I can tell, the right is claiming that this budget will reduce costs and bolster the economy.
That's what they're claiming.
That's what they're claiming. And to do that, they're saying they're kind of like Doge. They are cutting wasteful, non-essential drains to the GDP.
Gross domestic product.
Yes, thank you. And the right, or the left, is claiming that what's really happening is that they are cutting necessary programs in order to give the top 1% of the people, basically the billionaires and up, tax breaks, so and so they can have more money.
Yeah.
And these are the two opposing points of view.
Yes.
Now, I know a lot of people, a lot of Trump's constituents are saying that this is the line in the sand for them. They're pissed off. Well, they're pissed off about this and the Epstein files. That's a whole other issue.
It's a whole other issue.
But that with these cuts that, and I've seen footage of Trump when he was campaigning, talking about how he would never touch Social Security and he would never touch Medicare and Medicaid. Multiple times. In fact, he demonstrated being annoyed that people were still asking him about this when he had already said multiple times he's not going to touch it, not going to touch it.
Yes.
And almost everyone around him, not going to touch it, not going to touch it.
Yeah.
Now, and this is what I mean, it came out, because I don't know what they know and don't know, and I don't believe most of them. But it came out that, yes, there would be cuts. People have been laid off by the hundreds. Departments have been shuttered. And now they're talking about there will be cuts over the next 1 to 5 years for Medicaid, for Medicare, definitely for Social Security.
I don't think they touched Social Security in this one. Not yet. They're going to, but they haven't touched it yet. This is definitely Medicare and Medicaid, though.
Isn't what Doge did?
Doge didn't have a lot of power. It was definitely there to make it seem like, oh, this is what... It was a way to kind of point to things and go, there's waste there, there's waste there, there's waste there. But you got to remember that Congress controls the budget. Doge could do little things, but they couldn't do big things. This bill,
a lot of people.
This bill is the big things. Yeah, this bill is the big things.
Okay. But because of Doge, you had things like, or you have things like, people who were fired that they can't get back. Some people they couldn't find. You had the nuclear regulatory people. That was kind of a little bit of a freaky situation. Most of those they got back. But again, I say most. And then you talk about so for me, I don't know if in this sense I am an average American or not, but you say things like most of the nuclear regulatory people. So that means some? No. So where are those people?
Well, they have a lot more work to do now, so they're busy.
No. Where are the people they couldn't find?
Oh, they went out and got jobs in the private sector.
Right. Which means anyone who could afford them.
Yeah, which means they're making a lot more money.
I don't. No, that's not what I mean.
Oh no, they're working for energy agencies or energy companies and stuff like that.
How do we know that? Right. They're no longer subject to the U.S. government in that way.
Right. What are you implying? That they're going to work for a foreign country?
I'm saying they could.
Well, yeah.
They certainly got screwed over by their own.
Yeah.
That seems like a reckless thing to do for people who are frothing at the mouth about Homeland Security.
Yeah, that's kind of silly.
Is what I'm saying. You've got people, pulled off of other tasks like weather and catastrophe. At the same time, one of the things that got defunded or shut down or getting less than they had before are things like FEMA. It's got to reset before I can hit it.
Like FEMA, yep.
And so you have situations like Texas right now which for some reason there's a large, well, I don't know about a large, but there's a portion of the population who thinks that uh, there's only like 2 to 6 inches of water in Texas.
What, you mean from the flood?
Yeah,
No, like it's.
I know.
Like there were houses washed away.
I'm aware.
There was a camp full of girls where like most of them died.
Yep.
It's an awful tragedy.
Seriously, there are 100 still missing, I guess, and over 100 dead at this point.
It's awful.
It is. It's awful, and the people coming to the rescue are Mexicans.
Yeah. Well, not just Mexicans, but yeah.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So, how do I know? I guess what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do I know what the impacts of this are going to be when these cuts to Medicaid, which most people are pretty fucking pissed about, called their representatives, showed up at Congress, demanding an explanation. Several of them like, well, I hadn't read it.
Yeah. You started a different question though, so I don't know what you're talking about now. You said if I can't believe what is, and then you went into something else.
I was trying to figure out how do I know what to believe as to which side is accurate or not accurate in what they're saying that the bill is about, when the people, like I said, who signed the bill weren't sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that part. I didn't read through it. Well, how the hell do you sign a bill if you don't know what's in it?
There are independent organizations that read these bills while they're still being talked about and stuff, and can give you a rundown of what they actually mean.
Whoa.
Okay.
You're telling me that these people... Okay, I don't want to downplay what anyone's job is, okay, because I don't know. I got a rude awakening just watching The West Wing.
Okay.
So I don't know what Marjorie Taylor Greene's average day looks like,
Yeah.
I don't know what she's supposed to do according to her job description.
Okay.
But I presume that a big part of it, other than, well, I had presumed that a big part of it would be, speaking on behalf of her constituents, reading through things that affect her constituents, and signing or not signing, voting in the Senate and in Congress about the things that were affecting her constituents. That's what I thought they went there to do. But now I'm learning that no, basically what they do is they spend all of their time campaigning so that they can keep the job that they're still not doing.
So it's different for the representatives than it is for the senators.
Okay,
So
which one is she?
She's a representative.
Okay.
So representatives have 2 years.
Okay.
And so the whole point is if we don't like the way you're doing it, you're out very quickly.
Not so much.
Well, her constituents like the way she's doing it. I'm sorry. But yes, also because it's
Wait a minute though. See, I'm sorry. This is how we have
been doing this 36 minutes and I've talked for 4.
Go ahead.
I'm not. I just want to point out that, like, all right, so yeah, so they have 2 years, and the 2 years isn't just to make all those decisions; it's to campaign, because they also need to campaign because they only have 2 years. And you're right; it is weird because I looked into it, what the average day is for a representative, and it's there are luncheons they have to go to because they meet with lobbyists.
Mm-hmm.
There are they have like she's on committees. Committees discuss specific bills and the wording that goes into them, and then they have the bigger votes, which don't happen every day.
I understand.
And then they have staff, and I always assumed the staff would be the ones reading the bills. Like, you'd hire people you trust to read the bills. Like, you'd hire like young lawyers who need the experience and have them read the bill and go, okay, what is this? What side should I be on? And
okay, I understand having young lawyers and assistants or whatever helping you if you're not a lawyer, because not every person is representative is a lawyer. to explain those things to you. But to read it absent of you, no.
Yeah,
That's insane.
The number of bills that they vote on every time, there's
insane.
not enough time to read them all. I mean, they did a live reading of the Big Beautiful Bill. It took 17 hours? And that was in its completed form. You'd have to read it every time it was changed.
That's insane. But again, I've been making this argument throughout. That shouldn't be allowed.
The changing of the bill?
No, for a bill to be that fucking long.
Most bills aren't. But you're not wrong.
And this is what I mean. They add riders and attachments and all kinds of shit so that good bills often wind up getting buried in shit that has nothing to do with what the topic is supposed to be. And so the bill doesn't pass. Or something horrible gets through because it attached itself like a freaking barnacle to something positive. That should not be allowed.
Yeah, that's parliamentary rules. You're right. So I think that some of that does need to be changed. Honestly, the biggest problem with that is the two-party system. If we had 3 or 5 or 12, it would be a lot less, because you'd have to convince like 3 or 5 parties that the thing you want to put on there is good enough.
Yeah.
Instead of just everyone on your side.
It's part of the argument that Musk is currently making.
But I think the budget is usually the biggest bill.
Yeah. I mean, that does make sense because that's everyone's budget, right? That determines how much the Department of Defense gets, how much DOJ,
the FBI,
all
Justice,
of that. Okay.
Homeland Security,
Yeah.
Congress itself.
And yeah, I mean that does make sense because that's everyone's. So, what did you find out?
Well, some of the things I found out were interesting, and some of the things I found out were terrifying, and some of the things I found out were just sad. Like the Medicare, Medicaid stuff is just sad because most people were like, no, we can get rid of Medicaid. I'm not on Medicaid. But they're on like what you are, or they're on like Mass Health. That's not Medicaid. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They get their money from Medicaid. That's where the money comes from. And so you get people like in Iowa, I forget what it's called. It's called like David or something. Like it's a name, like Kevin. And they're like, I'm on Kevin. And they're like, Kevin is Medicaid. And they're like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. You're going to lose it. Well, I didn't vote to lose Kevin. I voted to get rid of Medicaid. Well, same thing. They just didn't know. That's the sad stuff. Some of the troubling stuff is how much money. No one's talking about this. They're finishing a wall. That's in the budget. The wall at the border between us and Mexico, the one that Trump tried to get done the first time.
Oh, and that Mexico was going to pay for?
Yeah, he put it in the budget. It's going to be made by. There's also a huge increase in funding to ICE, including building up more facilities like the one they just put in Florida, which they're calling. I cannot believe this.
Alligator Alcatraz.
That's its actual name.
Stop.
That is its actual name. That is the sign when you're going in.
That's
they
disgusting.
named it Alcatraz. They named it Alligator Alcatraz. And I'm willing to bet it only got called Alligator Alcatraz to please Trump. They were probably trying to call it Alligator Auschwitz. That is the sign when you're going in. They named it Alligator. It is insane. But if you want, Kim, if you're okay with me working 7 days a week, 12-hour days, 3 weeks on, 1 week off, I can quintuple my income.
By?
Quintuple by 5 times.
By?
Oh,
by doing what? I know what quintuple means.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry. By joining ICE.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
And being
unless
an overseer down at Alligator Alcatraz.
Unless you want to get divorced. In which case, that is the solid way to do
I
that.
would bring in.
Did you just ask me if I was okay with you becoming an overseer?
Yeah.
With a straight face. Well, not so straight. Yeah, I don't think so.
I would be bringing home almost
$5,000
a week.
And no soul. No, you're
$5,000 a week.
Don't care.
And I wouldn't have any free time, so you'd have to spend it all.
Don't care. Did you just ask me if I was okay with you becoming
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, awful, right? And then some of the other stuff, like the tax cuts, they're like, oh, everyone's going to save on taxes, right? Well, I read this report that somebody.
Not everyone.
No. Right away, everyone's taxes go down. But I read this report that this guy did.
Wait, explain that. Why?
Because they're lowering everyone's taxes. They're like, oh, everyone's going to save on taxes, right? At first.
Come on. Yeah, I'm
And then
waiting
it
for
goes
the
up.
rest of it.
And then it goes up. And like I said, I was trying to get to the rest of it. I read this report that this guy did where he took how much money everyone would save in taxes, and then how much money everyone would also have to pay in addition because of the loss of all the services from the cuts, and how much you would actually save, right? Because if you lose your free health care because you make so little money,
Right.
you're paying less in taxes, but now you have to pay for all your health care.
Right.
So you're not making more money.
Right.
So he did all the math. And right away, people making less than, I think it's like $25,000 a year,
Okay.
would see an increase in the first year of $30.
Okay.
And then over the course of the next 5 years, would see a loss of about $1,100. People making between $25,000 and $75,000, or $25,000 and $50,000,
Okay.
would see an increase of like $110 the first year, and then they would lose about $2,200 over the course of 5 years. And then people in our income bracket would see a decrease right away. We would lose money right away of like, I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I'm probably wrong. Some of these, it would be like a decrease of like $40, and then over the course
Is this annually? Or
yeah, with your taxes.
Okay.
And then over the course of 5 years, we'd lose like $3,500,
Mhm.
and then it just gets worse
Until
you're making over $2 million a year,
and then
you're not losing as much. In fact, you're gaining money,
really?
but you're not gaining much. It's something like $800,
Okay.
and then anyone who's making more than like $100 million a year would see an increase of like $240,000.
And people with maybe $1 billion.
No, that's just everybody after that point.
Yeah.
But the services we're losing are just, and the people who are going to lose their jobs because of those services, they work for those services,
Which services are you talking about?
like Medicaid.
Oh yeah.
Well, people don't really work for Medicaid.
No.
Medicaid is not a department. It's a service.
I think the problem is, and I think other Gen Xers, lift your butt, you're sitting on my foot. Ow, thank you. Other Gen Xers, I think, can attest to the fact that when you hear Medicaid, at least in when I grew up, I think the problem is it was like Blue Cross Blue Shield. It was something your grandma had. I'm not saying that isn't important. But it's something that you had in your old age. I think that belief, that underlying foundation is why most people in my age bracket, a little older or a little younger, don't think they're on Medicaid. And so they're not worried about it because they think, like you said, your state health care or whatever insurance you're on isn't part of Medicaid.
So, it used to be that way. You would just be on Medicaid, and I think it still is that way. If you're over 65, 67, or whatever, you're on Medicaid. You're not even on your state health. You're just on Medicaid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it switches.
But of course, these insurance companies have a lot of money. They want more money, and they have a lot of power. And so what they did is they started funneling Medicaid through them.
Okay.
Because they figured it would make them more money, which it has. That's why, like with you don't have Medicaid, you have Mass Health. But you don't even really have Mass Health anymore.
I don't.
You have Fallon.
Yep.
Which is awesome. They've been great.
Right.
But it's just a way for Fallon to make more money. Because all of it goes through them.
Yep. Instead of going,
So when you actually look into how insurance companies make money, it's insane why people don't think we should just be on universal health care. It would be so much cheaper for everybody.
I think the reason that most Americans, anyways, are anti-universal health care, those who are, is because they have been told that, well, yeah, but they jack up your taxes, which they do.
Jack?
Maybe not jack. But yes, most European countries and like Canada, they do pay higher taxes than we do.
Yeah, and we would
But
pay more taxes.
and we would pay more in taxes. And I have often said this, and I mean, you know, you can let me know if people agree or disagree. But like, I'm willing to pay more taxes if those taxes go to things that make sense and that affect me. And
I'm willing to pay
people
taxes for things that make sense even if they don't affect me.
True.
My taxes go to schools.
Exactly true, but that's another thing. But if you think long term, those things do affect you.
Yeah,
no
I don't
one
like
wants
stupid
to
people.
think about that. But yes, but yeah, I don't mind taxes going to making sure our vets are taken care of, or making sure our children are educated competitively on the global stage. I don't mind having decent roads. Believe me, living in a truck, I can tell you, I appreciate good roads. Infrastructures that where states can, you know, really handle their own disasters and not have to
Yeah.
rely on something like FEMA. You know, if these rural places, a lot of these rural places had the infrastructure to, you know, repair and deal with their own stuff, we wouldn't have that.
When
Or we
Biden
have
was
less of it
president,
anyway.
when Biden was president,
Not my guy, by the way.
Pete Buttigieg was Secretary of, what was it? Not the Interior. He was in charge of travel stuff. Like he was in charge of airports and roads and whatever.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what it's called. I'm just bad with names and shit.
Yep.
There was a, a tanker truck full of fuel crashed in Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely
And
remember that.
under an overpass, and it destroyed the overpass for I-95.
That's major.
3 days later, they had a temporary road up because he went there and he was like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. We already have a plan in place. We know what we're gonna do. That's the kind of money the federal government has. That when it goes where it should, that's what works. And they're still repairing it, but the temporary road is allowing traffic over it, less traffic, but
Right. But I think a lot of times you have politicians, particularly on the right, although there are those on both sides, what are they, hawks, that are much more interested in putting all of that money into Homeland Security, military spending, and you and I have talked about this. I think the left and the right are probably, you know, closer to an understanding if we took the rhetoric out of it, because I'm not anti-military.
no.
I'm not anti-defense. None of that. But we have such, and I don't think people know how much of a surplus we have of all of this stuff,
yeah, military
stuff. You know, we talk about wanting, especially the right tends to talk about wanting less government in their business, in their lives, and yet more often than not, they're the ones funding those agencies, the alphabet soup of government. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, well, not anymore, but a lot of times we didn't even know where that money went.
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in, like I said, yes, I want our borders safe. Yes, I want the country to be, you know, a superpower. I get that, but not at the expense of woefully uneducated citizens making decisions when they're not educated. Myself included, you know, things that we missed out on. And I talk to people from other countries, or I meet people who have been educated abroad, and it's night and day. It's crazy. And not just, I mean, I'm not saying they're experts on us, but they know way more about us than we know about them.
Yeah, I could agree to that. It's tough for me because I do study this stuff. Like you said, I am in history, so I study
you
this
like
stuff.
it, you enjoy it, and so yeah.
Yeah, the fact that like the military has been audited pretty regularly for like the last 10 years, and the only department that passes the audit. The first year they did, but since the first year, they passed every single audit. Is the Marine Corps.
No, because they know where everything is.
Because they know where everything is.
They account for everything.
Everything.
Yeah, that's
every
amazing.
bullet, every pen, every set of goggles. They know where they all are.
And that's the thing. I'm leery of any, I'm not a conspiracist. I'm not, that person. But if me mentioning oversight makes you nervous or makes you backpedal, I seriously want to know why.
That's why I want to get into. I'm thinking about getting into government because, I want to get into to the federal.
I don't like you.
Become a representative. But honestly, I should get into the state. Did you know it was 5 years ago or 6 years ago? Massachusetts residents voted for, and it made it with enough.
We are originally from Massachusetts. Yeah.
Voted for, and it made it. It passed with enough signatures of people where it needs to happen an audit of the Massachusetts state government, and they just shelved it.
What?
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. And this
hasn't happened.
This is why we're potentially facing a constitutional crisis, because the whole reason that our system works is because, or has worked, is because, hey, if the court says you do this and you don't, and you just go, I'm not going to fucking do that, there are consequences. But if the highest office in the land decides not to listen to what the court says, or the court decides to never disagree with the highest office in the land so as to not ring that particular bell, then we have a problem. And that seems to be kind of where we're at.
Yeah.
If public opinion isn't going to change things,
It's not.
and everyone on both sides of the aisle, because the DNC has gone to shit for the most part, are so busy worrying about keeping their jobs that they're not doing their jobs.
Yeah.
And everyone on both sides of the aisle, I don't see what's next.
Yeah, and then the other issue is that the way you get people like Donald Trump, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of reasons, but one of the big reasons why you get people like Donald Trump or Marjorie Taylor Greene or those other people like that is because of, and this is going to sound so cyclical, so cliche, so 20 years ago, is the oil companies. Right? And you're like, what? We haven't had to deal with oil. No, it's still the oil companies.
I just know that that's not all of it.
No,
but yeah.
I said it's not all of it, but it's a really big reason. Because the oil companies have known that they were destroying the environment 70 years ago, right? And so they put in.
Knew they were killing people.
Yes, but so they put a whole lot of research into not only how it would happen, but how to make it so that they would still be able to drill when people figured it out.
Yep.
And so as time has gone on and more people have figured out, the only way they can do it, they can continue to drill and feed people oil and coal,
right,
is to get more and more irrational people in charge. Because the reality is, we're oil and gas and pumping other stuff out of the earth is destroying the environment.
Yes.
That's reality. And so now, in order to keep doing it, you have to have people who deny reality.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. It's definitely self-serving, and it is secular. I just, I'm not sure. I keep asking Geek. I'm like, okay, so again, the big concern is that Trump's not going to step down when it's time for him to step down.
Yep.
But let's say that happens. I'm curious how long it's going to take to unfuck things, and if that is even going to be possible.
Well, with the people who are there now, no.
Well, every time a president changes, the cabinet changes. All those people.
That's true, but the cabinet needs to be confirmed by Congress.
Well, apparently that's not too tough.
I know. Well, if you're a Republican, so what needs to happen is not just Democrats need to unseat Republicans, but new Democrats need to primary old Democrats.
And that's been happening more and more. And I think that's That's the only thing that's gonna save us. I think otherwise we will, we may have been arguably the first democratic society, but I don't think that we will be the last if this continues. If more, because otherwise it's corruption on both sides, and they're not incentivized to fix the system when the system is what keeps them in power.
Yeah, you need people who are in that position who are willing to give up their own power in order to fix things.
There are maybe 3 or 4 people
Yeah.
I can see who I believe would be willing to do
I
that.
think there might be more than that. They're just not as loud as the 4 people you're thinking of.
Okay, I'll take that. But those kinds of people and people who want to see change is what we need, because as things are, I mean, nothing major has changed since the civil rights. Not really. I think that's been the last huge thing. Women's rights came
Yeah.
in bits and pieces. Gay rights have come in bits and pieces and gone back.
Gay marriage?
I consider that part of gay rights.
Right, but I think that happened in like the mid 2010, like 2010, 2011. So
I don't recall. I don't know. I don't recall the and I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but I don't recall. Let me know in the comments if you know otherwise. With the exception of like Harry Milk and Stonewall, I don't know. Maybe. I think that'd probably be the closest. But again, that's going backwards now too. So that makes me think that maybe it wasn't definitively settled. Of course, at this point, I'm not sure what has been definitively settled. Other than, it's hard to navigate this shit. And that's the whole point of this weekly series. We're going to try to keep it to about an hour. But
my thing is I don't want to forget to be compassionate for individual people. Because there are people on some of the subreddits and the places I go online who are like, we should just stop. Massachusetts should just stop paying back into the federal government. Because all they're doing, because we work as a deficit in that way. Like, we send them more money than we get.
So is California.
Right? And all these southern states and all these red states where they're denying these things, they're taking that money and then they're not. So why are we giving that money to those people? And it's like, well, you got to remember, one, like, just because they're red states doesn't mean it's only Republicans who live there.
Exactly.
There are people there who would agree with us in Massachusetts.
Yep.
And also, just because someone's being shitty doesn't mean that you should be less compassionate.
Yeah. And, it's not even, like I said, there are Republicans that disagree.
I just wish that the people who are bad, and I don't mind saying that, wouldn't just keep taking advantage of that compassion. There needs to be a line where we just go, you know what?
That's what bad people do. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's a philosophical fine line, but I get that.
I thought you said we were going to try and keep it to an hour. I thought you were starting to wind down.
I was.
I was going to end on a hug and a kiss.
Can we end first?
No. I want to end on the hug and kiss.
Oh, I see. Well, hang on. We're not there yet. So,
to show that we are in love.
Absolutely. So, this is what we're going to try to do every Sunday at 8 o'clock normally. Hopefully by next Sunday, we'll have all our technical shit together so that it's a little more smoothly than it started tonight. Thank you for checking it out. But you can show up on Sundays at 8 p.m. if you want to jump in the chat. We'll be live each week. You can throw out questions and comments, and although keep it respectful, we will not tolerate bullying or attacks or violence or any hate speech or anything like that. We're not doing that.
You can try and bully me. You don't know me well enough to be able to insult me.
Anyway.
Unless you make fun of my beard.
So yeah.
Don't make fun of my beard.
Then trim it. Anyway. So yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to talk about next week. I'm going to try to keep at least one ahead, but honestly, with this administration, in the course of a week, it could change. So, you know, we'll try to keep
The Epstein files. We'll talk about Epstein.
Can we not? Can we just not? So we will see you next week. Oh, quick shout out news. We now and when I put this up or edit it, it will have our new website, which we now have, Grinny and the Geek, all one word, .com. You can check it out. It will have this eventually, probably tomorrow it'll go up. And yeah, little news stories throughout the week, plus all of our gaming and reaction info. All right. And on that note, apparently, the Geek is tired.
I am tired.
It is time
It's
for
10
him
o'clock.
to go to sleepy sleep
I
now.
gotta wake up in the morning and go to work. I gotta eat your tea.
Poor thing.
And then I gotta go to work.
So we will see you next time for
shushing?
our 2 cents worth. Thus, the 2
You
cents
see her shushing me?
podcast. Remember that you are never too old to play, and it is never too late to learn.
Ow.
So, we will see you next
Why
time.
would you do that?
Bye, guys.